See me and you? Guess we're recording. Oh, yeah. All right. Here we go.
I don't see many people viewing right now, though.
I do. Hey, all right. Hey, everyone. Thanks for tuning in. Tom here, Flip Anything USA. Let me get... Okay. Just... All right. I can hear myself, I think. God, sorry. We're a little bit messed up here. Just had a great testimonial from Ron. And Ron is a student that just finished my mentorship. Just done a knockout job. Can you guys hear me out there? Everything good? You? No? Okay. Let me tell you. Hey, Lou. Testing. Test.
Is it this right here?
No. Oh, maybe. That's for the phone. Okay, now they're here. All right. So just had a really cool, just had an interview of Ron. Ron was in the mentorship, and he bought the book, and that's where he started. And we can actually play some of that. We can kind of watch that if we want. Anything anybody want to talk about in particular right now? I've got Chris here, and he's having troubles with his. And I'm having trouble too. I'm starting to wonder if. Okay, bear with me. Sorry. Golly. Yeah. All right. Oh, well. As long as you guys can hear me, that's, I guess, all that matters. You know what? What I'll do is I'll pull up Ron's video that we just did, and you guys can see what you guys think. This is really cool, and you know the video speaks for itself. But not exactly what I planned on doing, but we can do this. Give me just a second to dig for it. Where are those videos stored? Do you know? The OBS? All right, bear with me just a second here. By the way, I just landed a deal. Just before I started on here, I had offered $950,000 for a piece of land. Came back. I've got a sign counter waiting for me, so I just got to sign it, and then that will be mine. So I'm relieved. I got one of my 1031 problems handled at the moment, and I'm going to share. All right. Oh, well, this is the problem doing this stuff on the fly. Okay. Yep. Can you guys hear Chris too on his mic?
Test.
Can you get on the chat?
I'm watching the chat here.
Yeah, you know that's a good question. Why is the residential market so hot? Barely hear Chris. That's because Chris is probably coming through my mic. I think I know why. Let me take a look here real quick. I got some audio stuff here. I wouldn't play with it. It's nothing like that, I don't think. Try that. Is that where you're plugged in? Yeah, that's probably
test 1 2. Maybe that's better.
okay.
wonder if
All right. You guys hear Chris now? Do you hear out of those headphones?
No. Somebody says that they can hear me though on the chat.
Okay, they hear you now.
I'm watching on chat.
Okay. And I don't feel like I'm hearing out of these things either. So it's making it harder to hear. Hey Cyrus, glad you're here. So give me a second here, and bear with me, and I'll take the pressure off myself here for a second. Take a look at this, Chris, would you?
Yep.
What do you think that is? Is that it? Okay, that's going to be the short one. There should be another one. Oh God! Don't tell me we had audio only.
Check that one out.
No, I saw it, so it can't be.
12 minutes.
Serious about making money? Huh.
So while Tom's troubleshooting that, we're queuing a video. He just had a short interview with one of the students from the last class. I was in the last class, the mentorship. I know a lot of you were too, but Ron is on fire right now. He is rolling in the dough and landed quite a few deals actually using the processes that Tom talks about in his book, Wake Up and Smell the Real Estate. You don't have to join the mentorship. You can spend $10 on the book, and everything's in there that you need to get started. So it's worth every penny. But if you want more collaboration, you want to talk with others that are in the class, chat in the forums, and really one of the things I enjoyed the most was the 2-hour Q&As, just hearing where everybody's at. And Ron was one of those people asking a couple questions here and there, but he really locked up some really outstanding deals and increased his cash flow quite a bit. And so
Tell them about your deal you just got.
yeah, so I saw a piece of commercial property for sale at the beginning of the class, and they wanted $400,000 for this commercial property, and it's in an area that I already have an Airbnb that's doing extremely well, and $400,000, yeah, I wasn't looking to spend $400,000 or get a deal locked up for $400,000. However, somebody bought it, and they rezoned it from commercial to residential, and so I said, oh. Okay, so there's land here. Now it's residential. They split it up into a bunch of lots, which most of you that are looking into real estate and doing all that, about subdividing. So they subdivide. They're going to start making money on these lots for sale. Well, I'm thinking, well, maybe I can get a lot, but it was pre-market. I heard that this was something in the works. Called up the agent that I knew was going to list this thing. Hey, let's make a deal. And apparently 2 lots were already under contract. So just like a lot of places in the U.S., the market's hot and some stuff is selling before it even goes on the market. So anyway, I had a buddy that's also interested in doing the same thing. So what we did is we drove out there, looked at all the lots, picked our 2 favorites, and wrote up a contract. And I said, hey, my offer is contingent upon you taking his offer. And we put in a lower offer. They came back with a counter. So we didn't pay full price for the lots. The lots will appraise because these other 2 lots have already sold. And it's going to be the beginning of a venture, I hope. Here's the coolest part, though. Is I paid $1,000. I put a check down for $1,000 earnest money. If I don't like it after they're done bringing in, the residential street, pave the street, the electricity, the sewer, making the lots level, all that kind of stuff, That might take 2 or 3 months from now. So I got $1,000 or it's holding my place in line. The contract's signed. And if I want to proceed, I can. Once they're done with all of that, if I don't like it for any reason, I can just say, no, I want to go do something else. I get my $1,000 back, and I'll go do something else. But I know how hot these lots will be once they go on the market. They'll all sell. It's just a matter of time. So anywho, all that saying, I'm pretty excited about the opportunity, and it would be a new build, which I want to talk more to Tom about the new build. So I want to talk to Tom more about building a new house. I've never done that before. It's been a dream to build something new, lay it out the way you want, pick out all the finishes, all that kind of stuff. And I'm a DIYer. I do a lot of projects. I've remodeled all kinds of stuff. So I'd like to get my hands dirty too. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to that adventure and seeing what takes place. Getting another short-term rental up and running, cash flowing. So yeah, that's my current deal, Tom.
Great. All right, I think I figured it out. Let's see. Let's see if you guys can hear this. All right, that's good.
Hey, Nacho.
But can you guys? Can you? That's Ron. Can you guys hear that brief thing? Sorry, it's such a mess tonight. But yeah, so I thought we'll talk and I'll introduce you, and then and I'm winging it, as you know. but all right. Let's see. And I apologize, guys. I was so late getting Ron interviewed, and I just finished up with him when I was supposed to start with you guys. But what the heck, you guys will get a sneak peek at what's coming, I guess. But it was really a great interview. Ron here he actually has 10 kids. He just had his 10th, and his other kids I guess they're big kids, because he said he bought a book, one of my books for each and every one of them, which means he bought 10 books. But all right, so I think I got this thing. All right. So let's see. See, this here's Ron, and let me get to where we started the meeting. Okay, that's me starting the meeting when my hands go up. All right. So tell me if you guys can hear, and can you even see? Can you see, Ron? What do you see on there?
I don't.
No?
No.
Okay, hang on. I got to share the screen. Oh, God. It's hard to okay, I think you're going to see him. Give me 1 second, Cabdola, or Cyrus. I got to share the display. Add existing. There we go. Okay. All right, here we go.
Here we go.
I have to shrink it in so it fits. All right. All right, now that's Ron. And now let's see if you can, if you're going to be able to hear him. Do you see him on
I
the
see
screen?
him. Yep.
Okay. Let's see if you hear. All right. Just finished the first mentorship class that I ever had. Since opening the book, there was a lot of demand for it. And I've got Ron Douglas here with me, and it's really great. Thanks for being on, Ron, and sharing your experience.
Yeah, you bet. You bet. Was that your first class?
That was the first class I've ever held.
Oh, wow. You did really well. It was really good.
Thanks. So the book, Wake Up and Smell the Real Estate, I came out with, and it sold very well, and people liked it, and it got a lot of attention to my channel. And Ron, how did you find me anyways?
Well, honestly, I'm a business coach myself, so I could spot a good mentor right away. And I kind of went through the gamut, just very similar a lot of people you mentioned on your channel, I kind of went through already and was like, no, 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 no. And
Yeah.
so I can spot a pretty good mentor, I think, and as soon as I hit your channel, I knew right away. And actually, you're the only one I subscribed to right away. I was like, yep, this is the guy. And so I started watching it. I bought your book. I actually have, we're expecting number 9, my 9th kid.
Wow.
And yeah, so I bought a copy of your book for all my older boys. So each one of my boys have a copy of your book, and we brainstorm on that. They live in different states now, and they're actually buying real estate now through that book.
Wow. So you've got quite a range if you got adults down to a newborn, right?
Yeah, yeah. My oldest is 24, and my youngest is due in December.
Wow. Congratulations.
Thank you.
There's a guy at the Mexican restaurant that I used to go to. Told me he had 18 brothers and sisters. And I go, I bet you can't tell me all their names. And he went through and he nailed them all. And I counted as he did it. It was no BS.
Yeah, yeah, and yeah, a lot of people ask, but yes, it's the same wife. And yes,
Wow.
it's not a blended marriage. Me and my wife got married when we were young. So
Wow. Well, that's awesome, man. That's congratulations. That's really cool. I mean,
thanks.
and the thing is when I made my book, that's kind of what I was doing is, well, didn't work out very well, is I was trying to lay the groundwork for my kids to follow. Cause I got 4 kids and I got adults ranging from 25 down to twin boys that are 17. And so I'm glad that you like the book, and it's pretty lean, right? Wouldn't you agree, or what do you think?
Yeah, and that's what I like. I mean, just like when I do my mentoring, and when I did a show on Discovery Channel, it was the same way. They really liked the fact that I just got to the point. And a lot of the audience liked that. And I hate waste. I hate reading a chapter or 2 of a book before we get to the meat.
Yeah, fluff they call it, I think.
Fluff, yeah, hate fluff.
I know, and it's funny because I'm so bad. Even like I got a counter offer, and it was a verbal counter offer, and I said, look, that's not a counter offer. I said, put it in writing. I said, I gave you an offer in writing. I want an offer, I want a counter offer in writing. I want to, and even the agent, it's a waste of time.
Yeah.
Just even having to have the conversation. So
Yeah, let's get to it. Let's get to it. Yeah, time is one thing we can't get back, and so I hate when I waste my time.
So tell me, give me the steps through it. You found me
Yep.
what, through one of the other gurus I was
YouTube.
picking on or something? Or,
Yeah. It was well, I won't mention the names. Yeah, I mean it's but yeah, you and I agree very, very strongly the same way. I mean, when I saw his videos and actually other people that you've diagnosed on here, it was the same thing. When I watched your videos, I thought just like you did, and I thought, this is lame, this is not right. And
yeah.
so anyway, when you said it the same way, I was like, okay, this guy, him and I think a lot alike. So.
Yeah, I know. It's kind of like, well, some people can't call each other out because they're kind of playing the same game. But like I said, I have no force with anyone. But but
yeah, it's like it's same as you. It's like, show me the proof. Where's the? I mean, you've been doing this for how long now? Come on, Grant, show me the proof. Well, that's one of them. But yeah, like, yeah, show the proof. I mean, when I do the same thing as I show the proof, I don't have a problem showing proof, and I can give you 100 numbers to call and talk to somebody that's I've worked with in the past. I have no problem doing it.
Yeah. Well, then see, that's the thing. A lot of these guys can't call each other out. Like I said, they're playing the same game. So,
Yeah.
but man, I was very impressed with you because Ron, he bought the book, and then after he got the book, he was one of the guys that wanted to have the mentorship going. And so when I offered up the mentorship, he and a bunch of people signed up, and we had a really great, serious group. I really liked the group. The Q&A was awesome. Wouldn't you agree?
I agree. That was probably my favorite part. The Q&A. Because I learned so much in the book, and then, well, actually a lot of it was good. I mean, even when you went through the classes, I still picked up a lot more, and I kept taking notes, and then actually that would open up questions for me in the Q&A. So that's when then you giving us a chance to ask those questions was great, and some people aren't ready to buy real estate. I was ready, like I've owned over 40 companies, so I'm trying to retire and shut down here, and I'm trying to just put my money in safe places, and so I'm not messing around. I'm out there making offers and doing it, and getting it done. But I didn't want to do it until I had a pretty good idea how to do it, but I really wanted to hear from somebody that's done it, and just to make sure I didn't make any mistakes. And there was a lot of little things in there that I would have overlooked had I not taken your course.
So you got the book, and then you took the mentorship. So the mentorship, the class, whatever we want to call this thing, it was worth it to you, right?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I made that back on the first deal. Yeah, that was a drop in the bucket. Yeah.
And because Ron was interesting, because Ron, he was making deals before the last class, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I think I bought 3 houses before the last class.
Yeah, that's awesome. So how many have you bought now? Have you gotten to 4?
Yeah, I think we're up to 7 now.
Wow. That's
So,
awesome.
but I had started buying something after reading your book, and then you made like I said, I don't mess around. I actually right now I own 21.
Wow.
So I started right after I read your book. I didn't want to buy anything until I read the book. So I read it first. Then I quickly sent it out to my boys, and then I just started buying. And then you made the mentorship available. I was like, hey, I've learned so much from the book. I've got to be able to learn more from this. So I jumped on that, grabbed that, and I bought 3 more during the mentorship, and I bought 4 more since the mentorship. So yeah, I bought another 7. So
That's great. And so tell me what, because now like you haven't realized a profit because you haven't flipped anything, have you?
no, I have not flipped anything. I've strictly been buying and holding because that was my turn. I want this place is really they're really struggling for rentals here. Every rental I put up, I've got 20, 30 people applying in 24 hours. It's really a renter's market here, and that's what I wanted. So.
And so how do you know that you bought right? Because I'm critical of people that, let's say, and, so I like to say the same thing, you're confident you got a deal because
Yes.
from the cash flow, I assume.
Well, here's how I know I got it right. Because when I go to the bank to get these refis, because I've been doing a lot of owner finance and then I'll do a refi, the bank president asked me to have a meeting with them because they want to know how I'm getting all these deals, how I'm getting such good deals on real estate.
Wow, that's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
He's like, how are you finding these? He goes, this house is worth 150. How did you get this guy to give it to you for 60? And I just laugh.
And it's funny because I tell people that, when like you say, when you become popular with the bank, it shows, they assign you a banker, and so that recognition is awesome, Ron. It's really cool. And you've bought houses and duplexes.
Mostly houses, and I bought 2 duplexes and 1 triplex.
Wow, that's great. And well, obviously, if it's worth 150 and the bankers, if you're hitting appraisals of roughly 150 and you bought it for 60, and how many of these are bank borrowed money, and how many are just owner carry?
Well, they're actually 100% both. And so what I've done is I've taken my money and I put it down on an owner carry with a guarantee to refi it and get it out of their name in 90 days.
Oh, beautiful. Yep.
And so what I do is I go in and then I use my money to put new windows, new paint, clean up the yard, make the place look good, fix anything, because I'm buying some stuff that's a little bit depressed. And then, and so I put together a team of like painters and roofers and stuff like that. So I just call them, get them out there. For instance, that house that I got for 60, I got it for 60. I think we put 10 in it. So I had 70 in it, and I put 10 down on it. So I put 10 down on a $60,000 purchase. I put 10 into it, and then I quickly refied it. They actually refied that in 36 days, I believe it was, from the time I signed with the owner to the time he got his check.
And when you did the refi, did they hit that number roughly 150, or would they?
Yeah, they hit 152.
Wow.
So,
Wow.
Yeah.
So you were 70,000 in,
Yeah.
and you basically, and what'd you end up pulling out? Just curious.
And so what I did is I went ahead and financed it for 100,000.
Yeah.
And so that way it paid off him. It paid off, it gave me my money back and gave me a little bit more to purchase the next one. So that I'm trying to do my best to keep as much money out, get as much,
Sure.
not get as much out, but get my money out that I put in. You know what I mean? And
Well,
so
even a
that,
little plus, it sounds like you got, well, the deal is, so what's amazing about Ron, what you've done is that you bought it right. Like I say, as long as there's no bad real estate, there's just bad deals. And also that's one of the things I tell people, don't worry about a short-term payoff. So he promised him that he paid him off in 90 days. Well, that's fine. When you're buying something for half what it's worth, the worst thing that's going to happen is you're going to sell it and double your money, right?
exactly.
And so you did that, and then you still were able to pull out 30,000 on
Yep.
top of the money that so you got all your money out plus 30,000, and you
Yep.
still have 33% equity in the property, which is a nice fat margin to have.
Exactly. And I'm renting it out for $1,200 a month. It rents for $1,200. And my loan payment, I think, on this thing is only like, because money's so cheap right now. I mean, I think my loan payment on it is like 4 or something, I think. And so it's cash flowing really strong. And the reason and so there's two different reasons. Again, you got to remember, I come from a business background. I bought and sold over 40 businesses. So I'm looking at this as a business. So I pulled the 30 out to buy equipment so that the next remodel I do is easier, and I'm not renting power washers. I'm not renting spray guns.
Airless.
I bought a Bobcat. I bought a tilt trailer so that, to do the roof tear offs and stuff like that. So I'm putting the money back into the business.
Right, and that's a beautiful thing. And I've done the same thing, like what Ron's talking about. What's nice is somebody else paid for it. It was paid for in one deal, and he's paid for it. He's got all this, he's got these resources, Bobcat, tilt trailer, airless, whatever else you bought.
Yeah.
But those are fantastic tools. I love them. I've had them all. I've got one of the other things I like too is Bobcat is really a wonderful tool.
Oh, yeah, it's worth its weight in gold.
But the other thing that's pretty cool too is if you get a little, and I just sold mine not a Bobcat, a Kubota L35 is what I had. They got one bigger, they got small L35.
The mini excavator.
It's not a mini. This is above the mini.
Okay.
It's still like, I don't know. It's probably a 35 horse machine. It's pretty big. It's a diesel, but
Okay.
you can dig and dig and dig and because that's the only thing you can't do with the Bobcat is you can
dig.
break,
Yeah.
you can't dig,
And you need that, especially for like sewer lines or any kind of broken lines or putting windows in basements, things like that. And so, yeah, like I said, I'm looking at it as a business. So I want this equipment there so that I don't have to rent it, and so the next time I just save that much more money. So.
Yeah, I will tell you one thing I learned, and what I ended up doing is I sold the Bobcat that I had, and I bought the backhoe, and because I could get a guy with a Bobcat for like $100. In other words,
They're cheap.
to rent a Bobcat is it cost me to get an operator with a Bobcat.
Yeah.
But to each his own. It's fun. It's fun to have the tools too.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And of course, I got 50-acre ranch here, so I kind of offset it by I use it.
yeah, that's great. So one deal right there. Now you've got that in place. And so tell me about it. Take us through one of the other purchases that you made.
Okay, so the other purchase was, and it's funny because you and I have talked about this in the past, was a landlord called about one of my tenants and said, "Hey, your tenant's looking at moving into one of my buildings, one of my homes," and I said, "Oh, really?" I said, "What do you charge for rent?" And he told me, "Well, because what you said in the book, I've already researched that neighborhood." I said, "Where is this place?"
Yeah.
And he told me, and I knew right away that it was too cheap, and because of the neighborhood. Mm-hmm. And I was like, "Well, why are you renting it so cheap?" And he says, "Well," he goes, "honestly, I'm in Albuquerque, New Mexico. I cannot leave the state." Yeah, you remember this one? Yeah. So he says, "I can't leave the state because I'm in the medical field, And with this COVID virus, if I leave the state, I got a mandatory 2-week quarantine without pay. And I said, man, what you ought to do is just sell me this house and buy something in Albuquerque. And he goes, that's not the worst part. He goes, I got another one in the next town over. And he goes, and that one's not even livable.
You got them both? Did you get them both?
I bought them both.
Yeah.
They just appraised them for $310 for both of them.
Wow.
And I got one for 90 and one for 45. So I got for 135. I got both of them. They
$250,000.
I mean, that's a home run.
It's
So
awesome.
That's the beauty of real estate. And I mean, David, it's so rewarding for me to have you as a first student, right? First student, you know, you're the first group and you are just hitting the home runs like crazy, but it's perfect. And look, Ron's a smart guy. He's obviously, he's a business coach, but really what I always say, it's just math, right?
It is just math. Anybody can do this. Yeah, you don't have to have business experience. You just have to do your homework, just like you said before. I mean, a good deal will stick out like a sore thumb. You know what I mean?
What you're doing, right? When you know value, right?
Yeah. You're looking through. You can see all the. I've even found one on Facebook Marketplace.
Wow.
I was scrolling. I found a duplex. I was literally scrolling, and I went, "He really only wants 80,000 for that?" And I was like, "That's too cheap." And I knew right away it was too cheap. And I went over there, and I used another one of your things because I went over there, and there was already 4 other people looking at it because it was too cheap.
You leapfrogged them,
I
didn't you?
leapfrogged them all.
Oh, that's awesome. Man, I tell you, it really is cool. So before we started talking, Ron said, hey, what's your game plan here? And I said, I don't know. You know, I said, I'm just trying to pass on what I know. And, you know, I kind of wrote it up for my kids when I wrote this book and made, you know, I've been making videos for 3 years before I kind of got discovered and got my book out. But man, that, you know, it's just kind of nice. You know what I mean? You're proof that,
Yep.
you know, it can be learned, right? It can be learned.
It absolutely can be learned, you know, and I knew this long time ago that, you know, I've learned, and that's the reason I've done business coaching is because I've always known that if you get yourself a good coach, you know, you can position yourself to do anything. I mean, honestly, I mean, you can do anything. You want to be a land developer, you want to be a business guy, you want to run a corporation, whatever it is you want to do, find a guy that's already doing it and really doing it, not like these fake gurus online. I'm talking about somebody really doing it.
Their theory doesn't cut it. You know, look, I'm real harsh on other people because you can kind of see through people that have never done it. You know, I can tell you, if anybody that's been investing any amount of time, they will have done 1031s. They'll be deferring their gains. They'll have stories like Ron has, and you know, they can. I mean, they walk it. And but the fact that you've been so successful so quick, I tell you, man, that it's really great. And can you look? You're a business coach. Can you think of any other business where you can make such massive returns so quickly?
That's why, as a business coach, I hired you as a coach because I'm honestly I'm done with businesses. I've had so many of them. I'm burned out on the whole employees and dealing with all that stuff, and now with this COVID nonsense. And I told my wife, I said, I want to own it. I want to see it. I want to touch it. I want to feel it. I can go down there and I can sell a duplex if I want to and get cash. I can sell them all if I want to. I can sell one. I want full control. And this, you know, doing real estate, you know, I used to do cars. I used to do classic cars. I was in the classic car business for a while. And it's the same thing except bigger numbers, right? You know, I used to buy, you know, a 63 split one to Corvette, you know, for, you know, $45,000 and sell it for $65,000, you know, and, you know, stuff like that. And so I basically took that plus what you've taught me and then moved over. And I'll tell you that leapfrogging one is I've made two deals now? 2 deals for sure. And I've actually used it in other business deals outside of real estate, and it's helped me there. So, and it was one of those that was just so simple that it was just common sense. You put it in an easy to think about form, you know? And I was like, oh, geez, of course. Yeah. Why would I not do that? You know?
Yeah. Well, and it really is, folks. It's common sense. It's common sense. That's all I've been doing. You know, look, I dropped out of high school And I'm not saying I was dumb. I wasn't dumb, but
Yeah.
I dropped out of
I
high school.
dropped out too. I dropped out in 10th grade. So
Yeah, I know. I feel sorry. My boys are about to begin 11th grade. And I'm like, do you think you're going to learn much in the next 2 years? They're like, and I'm like, I go, well, I don't say what. And
I know. I'm trying to bite my tongue
I
too.
know. Well, it's funny, Steve, when I dropped out of high school, I took the test, the GED. I actually took the GED and I dropped out. And
Yeah.
then 4 months later, they sent me a thing saying you passed, which was a no-brainer. If you saw how easy the test was, you'd know.
All right. So, anyways, that I just given you a piece of the interview. There's about half again is more still. But man, what a story, huh? I mean, I was so happy to hear about Ron's success. You guys already know him from the class, and a lot of you that are watching. If you're just first watching, I apologize for all the audio and video difficulties. But anyways, I'm a real estate investor. I'm not really a showman, okay? And I'm definitely not the audiovisual guy. I always wanted to be the audiovisual person in school when I went, just so I could get out of school. But anyways, Ron, he's told me that, I think he told me that he's bought 7 properties now, but he bought 4 of them like just during the mentorship, because he'd already read the book, and then the mentorship he was flying with confidence after that. And so any of you that are thinking about, you want to start investing in real estate, you don't have to spend a lot of money. Just get the book. Like get the $10 book, right? Or the $20 book or the $10 Kindle. Look, I'm not after your money. I can tell you right now, I've already made hundreds of videos. You could probably learn most everything you need to learn out of it. I can tell you, we talk more in depth about it, but the fact is the class goes into the Q&A, and it takes it to another level. But look, you can do it with this. He was already primed and starting to buy property with the book, but when he got the mentorship, he just, you can tell, that's his testimonial. I believe everything he says. But anyways, great guy. Really, really glad to hear it. But anyways, I'm glad we're going to share with you guys some. Cyrus, what was your question? Cyrus, you wrote earlier that you had a question. Okay, so Cyrus, he wrote, okay, I found a lot that is vacant, but PropStream said is owned by the government. Well, listen, I've seen a couple irregularities out of PropStream. I'm not, the data they get, they pull the data from where they get it. There's probably no guarantee that it's perfect. But I don't know. Yeah, thanks, Lou. But I have been enjoying the use of PropStream. I have to admit, I've been using it quite a bit myself, and it's been pretty damn handy. By a lady, okay. If I can buy both of them, I can.
Maybe she would know something about that lot and if it's truly owned by the government or not.
Yeah. Cyrus, I don't know. But you're doing the right thing. I mean, if you get one, it sounds, so you're saying you got the prospect of one. And what do you think it's worth? Cyrus, what do you think it's worth? The thing is here, they are gentrifying all over. If I can get all 3, I can to put in 3 towns. I get it, but if it's owned by the government, forget it. It's probably not going to happen. Now, I don't want to discourage you from that, but because I can tell you, I have bought property from the government. I bought a school. I bought an entire elementary school from a county. So
I want to hear that story.
Yeah, that's I've told it a little bit here and there, but it was a blind auction kind of thing that I had to do 3 times. I want to say she is about right in her price. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, listen, I wouldn't count on the government property at all, but I would listen. Let me tell you something. This is interesting. This is really interesting. Okay, and I'm using this, so think about this for a second. I just got one of the deals. A piece of land. I was excited. I wanted it. It's something I plan on building out a little industrial park on. It's got everything that I want. It's got 3-phase. It's got sewer. It's got water. It's got power, a lot of power, and it's in the perfect place. It's on a very good right-of-way, thoroughfare. So, okay, and I'll get. So, anyways, I got this thing under contract, and I knew that there was another offer out there for about $1 million. I'm willing to close quicker because I've got those 1031s breathing down my neck, mostly. And
How much time do you have left, Tom?
I got a couple weeks.
Okay.
Got a couple weeks isn't much time when you're trying to bargain. You're trying to bargain. You know, sometimes bargaining can take a week. You know, and so I've been bargaining, and I'm like, you know, don't feel like I'm holding any aces. But let me just say, what I did was, I knew the competition that I was going against was offering $1 million, but they were asking for more time, and I did the math from what I could surmise on their time, and they were trying to gauge this thing after the election. They were, you know, they may have no confidence if one party wins over the other, and that may just take the wind out of their sails. And so what I did is I put the bug in the ear of the agents. I just said, hey, listen, that deal that's competing against me, it's not a real deal. I mean, it's dependent on the election. That's why they've scheduled it like that. And I don't know if it's true, but that's what I think.
Sure.
And so I said, I'm going to buy it. I'm going to buy it before the election. So and then I offered $950. And so I thought that might be worth $50,000. And I said, worst case, you know, I get a counter full price of $1 million. And that's what happened. I got countered back full price. The $1 million, they really wanted to see $1 million. So it's done. It's done. I'm taking it. And I'll be happy to share that with you. And, you know, I remember I told you guys I was real excited about having a deal. And then I thought, oh, man, I can't wait to share this story with you. It's so great. It's, you know, well, that one hadn't gone through yet, okay? But in hindsight, this is better. This is better. Same plan. You know, in other words, the other one was kind of an industrial thing too. The other one had some advantages in some ways, but this is a better location. This has more utilities available. It has sewer. That's a big deal. So I'm excited about that. And anyways, but back to you, Cyrus. I would just say, I would you know, you know, don't spend a lot of time with, you know, you got to remember, just keep looking at further stuff, because look, if I put all my eggs in one basket hoping that, you know, this other deal was going to go through, I wouldn't have been looking at all these others. And I can tell you, I've made offers. I've made several offers on average from, I have a second one. I have 2 properties. Guess what? I have two accepted.
Oh.
So I think I'm good. I bought a piece of vacant land, commercial, that's beautiful, has everything in place, and I own property near it. And then this other one is the industrial one. So I'll share more with you guys on this stuff. But Cyrus, that looks interesting. But I hope you put it together. But I can tell you, you know, keep looking, because that's one thing I started to even, you know, you start to put your hopes. You're so, oh, man, you feel like you got it because they haven't said no. And sometimes that'll keep you in limbo because they haven't said no. And so you're thinking, they're going to sign it, or hopefully they're going to sign it, and because they haven't said no. But I can tell you, I say it all the time kills deals. And in my experience, just because you haven't got a no, it just means you haven't got it yet, okay? So just assume the answer is no when they're stalling. Because if they wanted to make the deal, they'd close the damn thing.
They would say yes right away.
I mean, it sometimes happens, and I was a little bit, not really fearful. I kind of hoped, because I made an offer on another property that, you know, I'll tell you that story too. That's a real interesting story, but I can't give the details about the story away without giving up the property, which I can't do right now because I don't have a signed deal on that one. But I've got a number of properties I've made offers on, and it may very well be. So basically, I've sold, I don't know, roughly $1 million worth of stuff, and I've now bought $1.6 million between these two properties. And I got another property I made an offer on today that I'm hoping we can settle up about $800,000 on. And so just this is kind of how your portfolio will grow over time, is you keep parlaying the profits and leveraging a little bit each time. So I take, $400,000 and I'll leverage it into $1 million deal. And then likewise, I'll take the $300,000 out from the other and I'll go into a $600,000 deal. And then in the meantime, because I've been looking so heavily, I'll probably have another deal that I wanted to use these funds for, but it doesn't matter. I'm going to buy it anyways because it's a great deal. But that's all. Anybody else got any questions? I appreciate your patience.
While you have everyone here, Tom, since we've been in an hour here, most of this was on Ron and just his testimonial. You just want to, there might be some people here listening in that might not know about the mentorship or are considering going deeper down the real estate hole, if you will.
Sure. I'll be brief and we'll wrap it up. But so, look, after I wrote the book got out, I started pushing that a little bit. The channel caught on when I was critical of Grant Cardone, actually. And then, my numbers blew up a lot on the channel. A lot of people found me, like Ron, like he just said. And so since then, a lot of people got really into real estate and got real curious, and people bought the book and they got more interested. And so many requests for mentorship, my email started blowing up that I couldn't handle all the emails. And so I said, I got to separate the serious from the not so serious. So I have a mentorship you can take for $5.99. That's peanuts, believe me. I get offers for people to spend a lot more money than that with me for, even for a half hour, they'll give me that. But the main thing is, hey, Alex, man,
Whoa,
Alex, let's get you on TV. Let's get you on the show next. Alex has already made 3 deals since he read the book.
Way to go, Alex. That's awesome,
on a 4th
man.
and 5th. So, but that's, that's the reason I've made a lot of these videos where I'm critical of these other gurus. Is I know it's entertaining to a lot of people, but I know that there's a significant, it's not half, but there's a significant portion of people that watch these people that really are genuinely interested in making money and genuinely interested in learning about how to make money.
Yeah.
And
and it doesn't matter how green you are. Like, I'm greener than the green screen behind me when it comes to real estate.
Where are you?
But really, like, I think my passion was there, but things like owner financing and whatnot, like that scared me. Yeah. Like I just didn't know. And since being in the mentorship, reading the book, it's actually given me a pathway.
Yep.
And now I'm waiting to land my first deal, right? Just kind of like these other guys have said.
Right. Yeah, Jose was having trouble logging in. I was actually helping him log into the site the other day. Yeah, you're going to love it, Jose. You're going to kill it. It really, anybody that, time, it's tough to make time. Like he's talking about, we did a longer interview. You'll see more of it later. But it's making time, and the beauty of it, you start making money and have passive income coming in from real estate, you'll have the ability to take more time to do whatever the hell you want. And, and that's probably the best benefit of all, is just having those choices. But, so look, Cyrus, you've got my text, and that's the other thing. When you get through the mentorship, you get my number, my cell phone number, not to talk about anything and everything, but you won't want to, you'll know by the time you get through the class. It's critical support. And I want to help everybody nail and close a deal. And there's nothing make me happier than to, like I said, that's what I want my legacy to be, to helping make more millionaires than maybe anybody else ever has. I don't know. Maybe something like that would be kind of cool. But I'm happy even if it just helps a few people. Yeah, I know. And listen, it's funny. I charge $600, and it's actually worth my time because there's enough numbers to quantify that it makes sense for me to do it. And I mean, so I don't mind it. I make a little bit of money doing it too, but if I don't mind sharing what I got. I've been doing it for years for free anyways. But I really like sharing with people that are serious about making money. And that $600 I charge kind of separates the serious from the not very serious. And I don't really want a bunch of tire kickers. Not that I don't mind anybody kicking the tires and dreaming. That's all. You do it all you want. But I'm looking for the people that are hungrier than that actually want to make money. And, and like, look, this guy's got 10 kids. And, and he bought each of his kids this book. So, I mean, he loves it and believes it if he's doing that. And, that's great, Jose. You'll do it, man. You'll do it.
Not only did he buy each one of his kids books, I mean, he pretty much bought each one of them a house.
Yeah. Well, I know. Yeah, I know. He's gonna have a nice, Yeah, I mean, he's gonna be. He's gonna. Can you imagine how many grandkids that guy's got?
Oh my gosh.
I can't even imagine.
Yeah.
Oh,
way to get Ron. Way to go, man. That's awesome.
Anne Marie, you work at American Airlines. Wow. You can fly for free just about anywhere then, right? I just flew to American Airlines not long. Well, actually. Yeah, that was the flight before, but yep. Well, hey, I got to call it a night, everyone. I just want to say thanks for hanging out and your patience. I took it too far. I was just late getting set up with the Zoom stuff with him, and anyways. But have a great night.
See you on Saturday.
Yeah, we'll see you guys Saturday. So Saturday. Oh yeah, that's great. That's awesome. So look, Saturday, if you're in the mentorship group, we're going to do a Zoom. And we're going to see some of the new members, as well as we are going to, everybody that's already been on, you guys come on in. And but I'll share some details on I don't mind sharing some of the details on my deals that I'm doing, my personal deals right now, but I can't broadcast them publicly because I don't want somebody to come in and make any trouble for me. So. But that's it. So, hey, have a great night, guys, and we'll see y'all soon.